our symposium. Yeah. So I, on behalf of Women and Young Members Committee of ICI, I welcome you all in the Sky High Symposium Series 58. So this symposium series is basically, it's a Wednesday series. And it's a program, it's conducted by the Committee of Women and Young Members. It's one of the Women and Young Members Excellence Committee initiatives. And it's not only to disseminate information to the members, but also to empower and inspire them to come at forefront and realize their verbal skills at public forum. So now today we are going to cover the session on the NBFC essentials and its unleashing potential. Second is analyze your body through yoga. So today is International Yoga Day. So something on yoga as well. And I'm really thankful we have Miss Swati Panchal as our speaker, and also Mrs. Reena Gala, who is going to give training on yoga, some highlights on yoga. So let's begin. And I would like to introduce Ms. Swati Panchal. So she's a partner at Panchal SK and Associates, CA by profession, writer by passion, anchor, media, mentor, public speaker, and a resource person. She is a qualified independent director as well, and she loves to travel. Okay. So now she is an FCA, completed her BCom, MCom, and she got a rank in Gujarat University for her MCom. And it's really great to say that she has completed her CA in first attempt and at the age of 20 years. Really, really good. She completed a DISA course and she has various certification courses also, like FAFP, FXTM, and she has done course on insolvency and bankruptcy code as well. And moreover, she is empaneled as a peer reviewer in our peer review board committee. So this, not only this, she is also interested in other things, like she has taken various interviews of renowned persons, and one of them, there's one program, Arthik Samjan Apni Bhasha Ma, and it's a show on DD Girnar. And she has given various TV interviews as well. Also, she is the secretary at Mumbai CA Club Toastmaster from 2021-22, and she has been a very active member in Women Empowerment and Banking Committee. It's from Ahmedabad branch, and there are various committees in which she is involved, majorly in Ahmedabad branch. Like she is the convener and the chief coordinator. So basically, she is just a bunch of so many expertise in taxation, accounting, auditing, bankruptcy code. Like there'll be a list of many things in which she is expertise in. So today she is going to address us on the matters which are related to NBFC and how we can unleash something over there and learn something new. So over to you, ma'am. Let's hear from you.
Thank you. Thank you so much, Surbi, for the wonderful introductions. Am I audible to you?
Yes, yes.
Okay, thank you so much. And once again, thank you, Women and Young Member Empowerment Committee of ICI, for inviting me. So it's 4:11 and let me straightforward start the sessions. So just I'm sharing the screen. Is it visible to you?
Yes, yes.
Okay. So during the whole 45 minutes, 50 minutes, we are going to touch upon the NBFC part. not in detail, but just I would like to throw some lights about the basics that you should know about dealing while doing any kind of the assignments for the NBFCs. So presently, once again, this is the limitation of use. The content of these presentations are personal views of authors and requested to take guidance before the time of executions. So during the whole 45-50 minutes, we are going to cover what is the NBFC introductions and overview, the PBC criteria, that is called the principal business criteria, types of NBFCs, scale-based regulations, and also we'll touch upon the registrations, compliance, and statutory update part and other regulatory aspects. So first of all, let me introduce about the word NBFC. What is the NBFC? That is the non-banking financial companies. And as per section 45I(c) of the RBI Act defines at a non-banking company carrying business of financial institutions will be an NBFC. Now, what kind of the activities included in these definitions? It is pertaining to the financing, whether by giving loans or advances. It can be acquisitions of shares, stocks, or securities, hire purchase if the company is doing, then again, it would be the part of NBFCs only. The management of cheat, curries, money circulation schemes, all the type of activities are included in the definitions of financial institutions about the NBFCs. Now, excluding, if the principal business of the any company is industrial and trading, then it cannot be the NBFC. Now, RBI circulars have specified majority of assets and majority of income is the criteria of NBFCs, and that is called the PBC criteria. So here we can conclude, if any of the company is doing this type of activities, then NBFC, it would be part as NBFCs. Now, what is the PBC criteria? That is the principal business test. Now, what is this principal business test? It's like financial assets to total assets. For example, in the balance sheet, financial assets, loans and advances, equity, investments, if it's exceeding more than 50%, then it's covering that part. And this financial assets to total assets and financial income to total income, both the criteria needs to be fulfilled simultaneously. So if the company is fulfilling just financial income part and not fulfilling like financial assets to total assets part, then it cannot be, do the NBFC business. It's not entitled to just run the NBFCs, because statutory auditor also has to certify whether the company is meeting up the PBC criteria, that is the principal business criteria or not. Abhi financial assets mein kya nahi aayega? What are the things that will not be included in the financial assets? Then cash, bank deposits, advance payment of taxes and deferred tax payments, and also the fixed deposits. Friends, please remember, fixed deposits, FD, it's also not the financial assets. So FD is not the financial assets that you have to consider here. So for any NBFCs, you have to check whether it's complying with the PBC criteria. And what is the PBC criteria? Financial assets to total assets and financial income to total income. Both the criteria needs to be fulfilled simultaneously. This is the whole geographical structure, how the DNBS, Department of Non-Banking Supervision, regulates the whole NBFCs across the region of India. So it's bifurcated in the 4 zones, AMD, West, South, North, and East. And the main HO is at Mumbai. So whatever the applications, if you are filing for the registrations, it come to the Mumbai. And for example, if you are going for any prior approval or any submissions, then first it will go to the respective RO, and after that it will get the backend approval from the Mumbai. So for example, if it's Mumbai RO, Bhopal, Raipur, so you can just look out the structure in west part, south, north, and east, and also the 3 DNBS cells. Now, if I talk about how the NBFC in India works on a multi-regulator model. So if I start, for example, let me start from my right-hand side, SEBI. For example, the SEBI is the watchdog for the stock market, as well as the SEBI, under the purview of SEBI, the merchant banker, the broker, sub-broker, venture capital fund, and the stock exchanges. After SEBI, the IRDA is there. So IDA regulates insurance companies. Earlier, National Housing Bank, but presently the RBI is running and administering the housing finance company. Earlier, if you wish to form the housing finance company, you have to go with the NHB, that is the National Housing Bank. But now the scenario has changed after budget 2019. For the harmonizations and administration purpose, the HFC administration's part has been handled by now RBI. State Registrar of Fund cheat funds handled the cheat funds. The MCA regulates the Nidhi company, and likewise under the purview of RBI, if we can say NBFCs. Now there are various types of NBFCs. The ICC, the full form of ICC is Investment and Credit Company. Now, earlier before this ICC, the word has come, and earlier that was the investment company. AFC stand for the Assets Finance Company and the loan company. So there were three part of NBFCs. After that, it has been clubbed and renamed as ICC. It's again for the better harmonizations and administration's purpose. It has been clubbed. And now most of the companies are ICC category only. And after that, there are various other NBFCs like Infrastructure Finance Company, Infrastructure Development Fund, Microfinance Institutions, Factor Company, the Core Investments Companies, Residuary, Non-Banking Companies, and Account Aggregators. So this is a whole chart how India works on a multi-regulator model about the finance business. Just I want to touch upon the definition part for the different types of NBFCs. Now, what is the loan company? Definitely the company who is giving mainly the making loans and advances. Likewise, the investments company, main purpose is to acquire acquisition of securities for the purpose of selling. That can be the investments company. In assets finance companies, the financing of physical assets, including automobiles, tractors, and generators. So now three category, loan, investments, and assets finance companies has been clubbed and renamed as ICC, Investments and Credit Company. Now, what is core investments company? It's all about making investments and loans to the only group companies. For example, 90% of its net assets in equity shares of preference, bond, or loans of a group companies, or 60% of net assets in equity shares of a group companies. Then it's just core investment company. Likewise, the infrastructure finance company that which deploys 75% of its total assets in the infrastructure loan. If infrastructure finance companies is there, then NOF criteria is too high, it's 300 CR, and also having the minimum credit rating of A or equivalent, and CRAR criteria of 15%. So that is the infrastructure finance companies, but we find very rare infrastructure finance companies. Likewise, the infra development funds. So it can be the SEBI regulated, and if it's formed under, it also can be the RBI regulated. So for the facilitations of flow of long-term debt into the infrastructure project, infrastructure debt funds, and can be set up as either trust or a company. So this is all about the infra development funds. Likewise, the microfinance institutions. For example, it's giving the very small token amount loan for the rural household income, having like annual income of less than 3 lakhs. So earlier, now also this limit has been revised. So this is all about the microfinance institutions. Now, what is the NBFC factor? NBFC factoring, it's all about like doing the business of NBFC factoring, the acquisition of receivables of an assigner or extending loan against the security interest of a receivable at a discount. So the NBFC, whatsoever is doing the factoring business is the NBFC factor. Just 1 minute. It's again P2P. For example, provide an online platform to bring lenders and borrowers together to help mobilize funds. For example, this is the era of technology. So one way you can see the lenders and one way is like borrowers. So just there is a demand and supply. And just to match up that, the P2P kind of the NBFCs are also in the market. And it's also very emerging nowadays. Likewise, the mortgage guarantee companies. These are the companies, financial institutions having the 90% of the business turnover or gross income from mortgage guarantee business, and net on fund is 100 CR. So it's also having very high NOF criteria for these mortgage guarantee companies. And if I talk about the NOFHC, non-operative financial holding company. So this kind of the company is required to be made if you are going to form a bank. आपको कोई बैंक बनानी है, then you have to form these financial institutions. So it's a wholly owned non-operating company which hold the bank as well as the other financial service regulated by RBI. So just if you are planning to set up any bank, then this kind of the company would be the options for you. Likewise, the account aggregator. The account aggregator is like a platform where at the one platform you can get all the details. Likewise, GSTN is also been considered as a financial information provided account aggregator framework. So this notification is there. Now, account aggregator provides all the informations, all the accounts held by a customer in different NBFC entities. The information is like consolidated, organized, and retrievable data about various financial engagement for this. So this is all about different types of NBFCs that we just looked on. Now, before the scale-based regulation has come, before that, on the type of NBFCs, just we have categorized considering the deposit taking and non-deposit taking NBFCs. And again, for the non-deposit taking NBFCs, if asset size is more than 500 CR, then it's systematically important. And if asset size less than 500 CR, then it's non-systematically important. So accordingly, you have to refer that master directions. But after the scale-based regulation has come from 1st October 2022, this definition has been changed. Now they have classified all the NBFCs in the 3 categories. This is the base layer, middle, upper, and the top layer. These are the 4 categories that has been classifications has been done. So as per this scale-based regulations, revised framework, the classification of NBFCs based on their size, activity, and the riskiness that it carry. So for under the base layer NBFCs, all the deposit taking NBFCs, all non-deposit taking NBFC having asset size less than 1000 CR. It would be under the part of base layer only. Now, other than this NBFCs having asset size less than 1000 CR, also the NBFCs peer-to-peer lending, P2P जो NBFCs है, account aggregator, non-financial, non-operative financial holding company, an NBFC not availing public funds and not having any customer interface are also the part of this base layer only. So क्या होगा कि I think max to max, I have also given the numbers in the next slides, how many registered NBFCs are there. And like 95-97% are NBFCs are the base layer only. So during all this PPT, we are also just covering mainly about these base layer NBFCs. Now for the middle layer, for example, all deposit taking NBFCs, irrespective of their asset size, if the NBFC is taking deposit, then definitely it will come into the middle layer. And after that, if it's non-deposit taking, but asset size is more than 1000 CR and above, then it will be the part of middle layer NBFCs. And other than these 2, A and B categories, for the C, like if NBFCs undertaking the activities of standalone primary dealers, infrastructure debt fund, core investments companies, housing finance companies, infrastructure finance companies, that all would be the part of middle layer only. Now, we have already gone through the base layer and middle layer definitions. The what kind of NBFCs would be into the upper layer. So the RBI and this particularly scale-based regulations notification said the top 10 eligible NBFCs in terms of their asset size would be the upper layer. So they will just check the asset size of the company and they will identify the top 10 eligible NBFCs would be into the upper layer NBFCs. Now at the top layer, other than these 3 layers, base layer, middle and upper layer, the RBI also given about the top layer, but they have not defined like what kind of the NBFC, which NBFCs would be into the top layer. So in the top layer, at the description of RBI, if RBI feel that this particular NBFCs, we need to regulate much more due to its riskiness or about its compliance part or any other criteria, they will completely put that NBFC from the top layer. It can be from the upper layer NBFCs or the descriptions of RBI. So this is all about present scenario that you have to refer. Which kind of the NBFC it is that you are looking for, the base, middle, upper, and top. First, you have to identify it. After that only you will update, you will come to know what are the compliances part that are applicable to this NBFC. If the NBFC is into the base layer, then definitely the lower compliance need to meet up. The middle layer, higher, and upper layer, strict compliances would be there. This is all about the picture, base layer, middle layer, top layer that I just spoke about. This is all the data summary chart of as on 31st March 2023. And the data source is from RBI website itself. How many registered NBFCs are there? There 9,443 NBFCs registered as on 31st March 2023. And if you consider out of this 9,443, 9,230, it means 97% NBFCs are ICC only. ICC is Investments and Credit Company, right? So the 97% is the ICC category only. This is all about the like P2P only 25, deposit taking may only 39 NBFCs in India, non-deposit. So this is all about the present scenario and statistics. Again, if I reclassified that 9,443 NBFCs into the base, middle, and upper layer, then what is the scenario? Then again in the base layer, we can see more than 9,000 NBFCs into the base layer only, having asset size less than 1,000 CR. In middle layer, only 261, and upper may only 8 NBFCs. So what kind of the areas and services that you can provide for the NBFCs? Particularly, it can be regarding the registrations, incorporation of NBFCs, about the policy making part, the compliance of the NBFCs, CIC, that is the credit information companies, data submissions part with the credit bureau, audit, statutory audit, internal audit, inspections part specifically, fintech tie-ups, where you can also play a key role, because also this is the era of emerging fintech and startups are coming. Also the MOU and the partnerships that you can do the collaborations and give the guidance to the various NBFCs. Would not like to touch upon the registrations part much. Just I would like to highlight that if you are making any new NBFCs, then minimum 10 CR is the NOF criteria. You have to just put that fund into the bank FD, and just you have to refer this website where you can get, where you have to just log in, do registrations, make offline applications, and various documents that needs to be submitted. And your business plan is very much important if you are doing registrations, or even if you are going for the prior approval. And it covers covers the business plan, executive summary, your vision, mission statements, the promoter's background, the company structure, business structure, market size, the product that you are going to launch, about your organizational structure, who is about to behind this curtain running the NBFCs, your financial projections, and if you have done any fintech collaborations. So these all are the points that needs to be covered into your business plan. So this is particularly just one reference link where you can just refer, and you can get all the type of forms. If you wish to form microfinance company, IDF infrastructure development, so all particularly forms are available to this link. So you can refer that. Now for the registration as well, or prior approval, if your client is going to acquire NBFCs, then what is the important part? I think two. One, you can see the goddess Lakshmi ji. So NOF is required, net on fund, because without that it will not be possible. And parallelly also it required Saraswati ji, because the experience in banking and finance. If you don't have the experience, promoters, the banking and finance field, then it would not be feasible. Ultimately, max directors would also have the fit and proper criteria and have the banking and NBFC exposures. After that only it's feasible to run the NBFCs and to get approval from RBI. So this is the perfect picture. You can just remember if you are dealing with any kind of NBFC. I hope I'm not going too fast. So for the NBFCs, regulatory entities govern the NBFCs. First off is the RBI. RBI governs, and definitely it's the company, private limited or public limited. So the MCA, Ministry of Corporate Affairs, is also dealing. So you have to deal with the two. But if listed, then again the three, and SEBI would also come into the picture. So you also have to balance in between three regulatory authorities, the RBI, SEBI, and MCA. If it's unlisted, then only also the RBI and MCA. So you have to, many of times you have to see where to go first, whether MCA or RBI, whether it's the name change or change in the shareholding or like shifting, or there are many n number of criteria where you are just confused which authority to apply first. Now, once the NBFC there, just you have to make sure it has a valid certificate, registration certificate from RBI. Now, all the NBFC is also required to get the CKYC, that is the central know your customer CKYC number. So you also have to register for the CKYC. And if the NBFC is particularly also giving the loan in the loan business, then CKYC would come into the picture for all the customers. And also the SARSAI part, that you have to check it out whether the SARSAI registrations has been taken or not. For all the kind of mortgages, equitable, registrations with the SARSAI is essential. The Central Registry of Securities, Securitization, Asset and Reconstructions and Security Interest of India. And also the auditor need to report whether the company has taken the SARSAI, CKYC registrations or not. Or also you being an auditor, you also have to report the last record which you have uploaded on the SARSAI. So registrations is one part, also the last record that you have submitted with the SARSAI, that also needs to be certified. Also the 4 credit information companies are there: CIBIL, Experian, Equifax and CRIF. So whether NBFC has taken the registrations of all 4 CIC, and also the data uploading is regular or not. Now, as per the master direction, it's written that data uploading needs to be done at least monthly or at shorter interval. So the less time duration is monthly, you have to upload the data. NESL, National E-Governance Services Limited. So NESL is playing the role of the data registry, data governance as per the IBC. So the NESL is also where you have to just make the registrations and upload the data. CRILS, the Central Repository of Information on Large Credits. You also have to do the reporting to the CRILS. The FIU, Financial Intelligence Unit. Earlier it was the FinGet 1.0. Now the revised version has come 2.0. So the FinNet, and also you have to mention the principal officer and designated director into FIU 2.0. This is the latest one. If any of NBFC has not done, then I think it needs to be done. For the statutory part, if we consider, then there are various applicable returns are there. And also if it's non-deposit taking NBFCs, then it needs to pass the board resolutions that our NBFC, the company has not accepted any public deposit and not intend to acquire any public deposits during the period of time. So this is the compliance needs to be done by each NBFCs which are into the non-deposit taking. So also the compliance with the prudential norms needs to be met up. Each and every NBFCs needs to finalize its balance sheet within 3 months from the date of month it pertains. So 30th June, need to finalize the balance sheet, and also need to submit this balance sheet with the RBI. Also need to check it out whether prior approval of the RBI is required or not, because while doing the change in the shareholding, if there is a change in the shareholding, then more than 26%. And if there is a change in management, then more than 30%. Prior approval needs to be checked out. And also the prior approval of RBI in case of extension of date of balance sheet other than 31st March. If any NBFC not closing the books of account and need to change the financial year, then also the prior approval may be needed. Also need to verify properly the object clause of the company. If it's very old company, then properly the financing, whatever the present business the company is doing, whether it's allowed into the MOA, AOA part or not. So you can also thoroughly check out the object clause part of the company. No lending against its own shares. It's not allowed. So if it's disbursing any loan amount in the cash, then you have to refer the 269 SHT compliance of the Income Tax Act as well, where there is a threshold limit about the giving of loans into the cash. And also the digital lending, if it's doing, then there is a latest guidelines also on the 2nd November 22, the guidelines on digital lending, that also needs to be checked out. Now, for example, if we check upon the financials part of the any NBFCs, then we have to verify and assure that whatever the profit, the 20% of the profit, whether transferred to the statutory reserve or not, that needs to be complied with. Now, leverage ratio, for example, it's ICC category, then it's a leverage. For example, 1 rupees, it's the NOF, then max to max, the 7, and you can do the business with the 8 rupees. So it cannot exceed more than 7. So leverage ratio, you need to fulfill within the 7 times. And if it's not leverage ratio, so particularly different NBFCs, then again the capital adequacy ratio needs to be fulfilled. NOF criteria, once again, presently it's the 2 CR, but gradually it's shifting. I have covered this into the last slides, because as per the scale-based regulations, now they have increased the limit to 5, 7, and 10 CR likewise. So after that, regulatory provisions on classification of loan into, again, this is kind of banking that we do in the bank audit, that standard, substandard, and doubtful. So you have to classify all your portfolio into these 3 categories. You also need to check it out, the compliance with the PBC criteria. Just we referred in the 2nd slide only, that 50% criteria, whether it's been fulfilled or not. So DNBS 10 is there, auditor certificate needs to be checked. Again, FITI ratio that we learned about the financial income, total income, and FATA, that is the financial assets and total assets ratio. Annexure 3, there is a different annexure is there that needs to be attached to the balance sheet. And also that section 143 report, hum jo baki ki companies mein karte hai, there is one additional report. If you refer the master direction for the auditor's report, then that format has been given, the additional report to the auditor's report. That extra report needs to be given every year. And yes, if you are the auditor, then you also look out exception report, if any. If the company NBFC has not complied any of the criteria given in the master directions, then you have to given this exception report pointing out this is has not been complied by these NBFCs, and this exception report will go to the RBI. So this is the exception report that you have to compulsorily give. And while giving the statutory auditor certificate, they specifically ask whether the auditor has given any exception report during this year. And additional disclosure as per scale-based regulations. If you refer the directions of the scale-based regulations and disclosure part, then there are also the additional disclosure is required. So if we talk about the NBFCs, then various RBI inspection reports that you needs to be referred, because many of times the RBI do the inspections and they have many of the queries. So you have to refer the RBI inspection report if carried out in the last 5 years. Also, you can play a key role in the internal audit, the auditor being audit report and exceptions report, if you are doing any kind of the checking or just overviewing any NBFCs. The regulations part, just you have to make sure whether the appointment of nodal officer, compliance officer, principal officer, and grievance redressal officer has also been done or not. And prominently this has been displayed at entrance of any main premises or branch that you have to just check it out. Now for the NBFCs also, they have enforced one anti-money laundering and combating under. So there are various trainings needs to be conducted. And many of times when you go for the prior approval, they just ask whether such type of training has been conducted. So just they require such database. Now they have also come out with the quarterly return for the data collector applications on the digital lending applications. They just very much concerns RBI whether your NBFC has done any kind of tie-up with any digital lending app. So now this is the different and very new. They have come out for the data collector.rbi.org.in, where you have to submit your quarterly returns. Also need to check out for the pending RBI notices, if any. For example, the digital lending app. So many of times the RBI just ask for the various informations. Likewise, the PAN of entity, name of entity with whom you have done tie-up. Does the entity have an app for the digital lending, name, agreements, the firm that owns DLA जिसके साथ आपने टाइप किया है उसके पीछे कौन है? Ultimately, they just want to know the firm that operates the DLA, registered address, website, platform. So there are lots and lots of informations and various checklists. Also, they it been given and emailed many of times. Now, if there is any change, then within 1 month, you have to communicate to the RBI. For example, if there is a change in the postal address, telephone number, registered office, name and residential address of the particular directors of the company, and also the designations of the principal officers, and also the names and office address of the auditor change, then also you have to intimate. And also the specific signatures of the office bearer also, if there is any change, then you need to intimate to the RBI, and it's within 1 month from the date of change. There are also various policies applicable. So here also you can play a key role. For example, KYC and PMLA, Fair Practice Code. RBI is very much focusing on the Fair Practice Code because it's very much essential part if it's dealing with various customer interface, whether everything is in fair and proper manner or not. About the credit and recovery product policy, about the investments policy, if it's a huge investment, then what kind of the strategy that you have, about the risk mitigation part, risk management policies, grievance redressal, whether you have mentioned any hierarchy or not, about the interest rate policy, IT policy on demand and call loan. Also the loan, if you have given loan to the KMP and related parties, there needs to be specific policy addressing on this part. And also I think last week, the two notification has come for the default loss guarantee. So each and every NBFCs needs to maintain this policy as well, DLG, if it has done any tie-up with the LSP, lending service provider. Also the policy on compromise settlements and technical write-off. If you consider mainly about the risk scale-based regulations that has come, then upper layer for mainly, if I just talk about the upper layer, then risk management committee at board or executive level needs to be formed. Now this is risk management committee will come for each and every NBFC, even if it's like 10 CR NBFC, then risk management committee would be there because as per the scale-based regulations, and it's mentioned for all the base layer, and base layer is less than 1000 CR asset size. So the relevant disclosure also needs to be made for the different types of exposure related parties, loans to director, senior officer, approved policy, often also if any lending to entities where directors or the relatives have major shareholdings. So under the scale-based regulations, this part needs to be addressed very well. Now, for example, there is a change from the financial year 2022-23, just for the making, if you are closing of the balance sheet March 23, then there are extra disclosure needs to be given. Earlier, it was not there. But as per these notifications, as I mentioned, specifically sector-wise reporting also needs to be done prima facie at the balance sheet notes to accounts or any specific annexures that you can attach. This whole the format has been given to the master directions disclosure part of NBFCs. So specifically, you have to mention the exposure to the real estate sector, capital market, and also the sector-wise bifurcation needs to be done for the gross NPA, percentage of NPA, intra-group exposure, unhedged foreign currency exposure, related party disclosure, and top 5 grounds of complaint. You also need to mention, and as per there is a very specific format has been given, the type of grounds of complaint, resolution of complaint, and 7-8 columns are there. Yes, I have just mentioned this. Ground of complaints, number of complaints pending at the beginning of the year, number of complaints received during the year, percentage increase, decrease, and this is the whole chart. the way this disclosure needs to be. And also for the related party disclosure, they have specifically mentioned this chart. The related party, subsidiaries, associates, key management, personnel, others, current year, previous year, and this is line items that has been given. So you have to just refer this, and you also have to give make it part of the balance sheet from this year onwards, March 23 onwards. Now, if we refer about again the scale-based regulations, so presently the NOF criteria is 2 CR. This is the present NOF criteria. But by 31st March 2025, the criteria has been for the ICC category, NOF, net on funds, needs to be increased to 5 CR. And after that, for the microfinance institutions, you have to 7 CR limit, factoring again 7. And by 31st March 2027, the company has to increase the NOF to the 10 CR for all the kind of categories of NBFCs. Now, only there is one exception is there. If for P2P AA account aggregator and NBFCs with no public fund and no customer interface, the NOF shall continue to be 2 CR. So kya hoga? If the NBFC is does not wish to infuse further fund, then there cannot be any borrowing, just NOF at 2 CR. So it's completely on fund and 2 CR that you can deploy in the securities or make any investments. So there would be no customer interface, no public fund and no customer interface. In that scenario only, the NBFC can continue to the NOF with NOF of 2 CR. Else each and every NBFCs need to go with this criteria. But it is also clarified that there is no change in the existing regulatory minimum NOF for IDF, IFC, Housing Finance Company, and SPD, because there are already very high NOF has been mentioned for all such type of NBFCs. तो उसको cut करने का तो कोई मतलब ही नहीं है. Like that. So this is very much important that I think you need to plan it out and you have to convey to the promoters of various NBFCs if you are dealing with any, because they also need to take some plan. If they don't wish to, then they can do some collaborations and tie-ups and they can reach out to this limit. There is also the change in NOF criteria and also the NPA norms. So presently the deposit taking NBFCs and systematically important, it's the 90 days NPA criteria. And if it's the non-deposit taking and non-systematically important NBFCs, then presently the NPA criteria norm is 180 days. But again, they just want to make it parallel to the systematically important and deposit taking NBFCs with the banking channels. They have gradually cut it down, the NPA norms, like 150 days NPA norms criteria by 24, 120 days 2025, and by the time of 2026, whether it's NBFCs, deposit taking, non-deposit taking, all will fulfill the NPA norms criteria would be the 90 days. Now the glide path will not be applicable to NBFCs which are already required to follow the 90 days NPA norm. So the NBFCs systematically important, already following the 90 days criteria. So they don't need to follow this. This is for only non-deposit taking, small NBFCs. Now again, this has come the legal entity identifier for borrowers. And now, for example, the total exposure, if NBFC has given loan to company A, for example, if it's more than 25 CR, then by the time 30th April 2023, you need to collect the legal identity identifier from that borrower. So LEI is also very much important. And if the total exposure in between 10 to 25 CR, 10 to 25 CR, then timeline is 30th April 2024. And if the total exposure more than 5 but within 10, then again time limit to get the LEI is 30th April 2025. Now what is this LEI? LEI is all about the legal entity identifier code. Is a key measure to improve the quality and accuracy of financial data system, and also for the better risk management to avoid the global financial crisis. The LEI is a 20-digit unique code to identify parties to financial transactions worldwide. So there would be the very unique number to each entity. And presently, this has been done for the corporate entities. Now, it is advisable that non-individual borrowers enjoying aggregate exposure of 5 CR and above from banks, financial institutions shall be required to obtain LEI code as per the timeline mentioned above. So you need to just refer whether whomsoever the loan has been given, they have fulfilled the LEI criteria. Now about the whole the rules, procedures and documentations part, how to get this LEI, you may refer this website LEI, LEII, and this is all about the wholly owned subsidiary of the CCI, that Credit Corporations of India, that is the government undertaking. So after obtaining LEI code, applicable NBFCs will ensure that the borrowers renew the codes as per GLEIF guidelines. That is the Global Legal Entity Identifier Foundations, GLEIF. So this also needs to be looked upon whether this has been complied or not. Now, if you all talk about the fintech is also very much emerging concept nowadays. So like in one of the statements, in December 21 December 2022 only at the business summit, the Deputy Governor T. Ravi Shankar has said, like, no regulator has the luxury of letting innovation disrupt the financial systems in the hope that market might reach its own equilibrium eventually. Now, if we see, there are various types of fintechs that are coming into the market for the payment, digital money, online banking, crowdfunding. And nowadays, this fintech has emerged a lot. So the RBI has also come out with the different directions stating about the guidelines and also about the structuring, how the NBFC is doing to tie up with the fintechs. And also they are very much keen on the database. How many NBFCs are done already tie up, how they are running this. So for example, if NBFC is doing the tie up with the fintech, then you also have to just see the profile, activities undertaken, business model kya hai particularly, ownership pattern of that fintech, the data security, who would play a key role for the data security. Here, you can also play a key role of the IT advisory, because you are just getting the numbers of customers from him, but ultimately the data security part would be underlying to the NBFCs. About the grievance redressal, how this mechanism will work, about the frauds and cyber security, supervisory commands, and loan sourcing process. So there is also the detailed list asked by RBI if you are dealing with such any kind of the fintech. I think I have 10 minutes more to speak. And also for the digital lending, if the NBFC is doing digital lending, then guidelines on default loss guarantee in digital lending has come out. And this has also been amended from time to time, so that you definitely need to refer that. For the change of control and management of the NBFCs, if I just talk for the few minutes, then as I said, prior approval required for any kind of change in management. If it's more than 30% in change in management, and including the progressive increase over the period of time, more than 26%. For example, first year mein aapne change kiya 20%, in the next year, if there is a change of 10%, then over the period of time, it's 30%. So by in the second time, when it has increased, when it's going to increase, that time you have to go for the prior approval, because here the time limit has not been mentioned. So you have to calculate that way. Also, the prior public notice to be given if there is a change in control on ownership. So you have to just take care that part as well. Now, for the prior approval from RBI, change in the shareholding of an NBFC, including progressive increases more than 26%. Then, like, transfer did not to be one go, can be cumulative as well. As I said, given the example of 1 year and second year, first year and second year, includes the progressive transfer over the period of time, but time period has not been mentioned. Transfer of preference shares will have no impact. So the preference share you can do the change, no issue. And also not cover the change in shareholding due to the buyback of shares, reduction of capital, which has been approved by the competent court, the same is to be reported to the bank within 1 month from the date of its occurrence. So if there is a change of kind of something, then also reporting needs to be done. You cannot ignore the reporting. And if there is a change in management for more than 30% of the compositions, then also you have to go for the prior approval. And for this computation of strength of board, independent directors needs to be excluded. So you don't have to calculate that criteria of, you don't have to calculate the independent director compositions. Avoiding that, you have to calculate the number of change in the directors. And the re-election of directors, that every year that we do the retirement by rotations, that will not come into the picture because that time it's not required. This is all about the basic regulatory framework about the NBFCs. Like there are various master directions. If, for example, if the NBFC is the base layer, that non-systematically important, non-deposit taking NBFCs, then this is the latest has been updated yesterday only. So if you refer the RBI website, this has been changed into these mortgage guarantee companies yesterday. So the new master direction has come, and also with the systematically important and non-systematically important, there is a change yesterday only. And being auditor of any NBFCs, then auditor master direction is there, that definitely you should refer. And you need to check it out what kind of NBFCs that you are dealing. So respective that particularly master directions that you can go through it. It's kind of the Bhagavad Gita and Bible. So you can all get all the your query and your answers from that circular and these respective master directions. Now, if I talk about the RBI returns filing part, so earlier till 2019-20, it was the Cosmos, where we were uploading on the Cosmos portal. After that, XBRL has come 1920 onwards, and presently also we are filing all the returns on the XBRL, like substantial informations and certifications. All the XBRL returns are very much lengthy in part. And now they are gradually shifting this XBRL also to the SIMS, the centralized information management systems. Now all the region of RBI has started shooting mail. Like they have sent Google form where you have to just fill up the 2 user details, where the email ID, contact number, the person name needs to be given. And after that, I think now slowly and gradually this particularly reporting portal would come. It may take time, but I think this is under the process. So these are all about the XBRL returns. So earlier in the Cosmos, what kind of the returns we were filing before 1920? For example, deposit taking, then these returns, systematically important, these are the returns. And highest number of NBFCs into this category, non-deposit taking and non-systematically important. So under the Cosmos, we were filing these returns, and presently in the XBRL, we have to file these returns. DNBS 0T02, it's all about the annual return needs to be filed annually. DNBS 10 is the statutory auditor certificates that needs to be filed one time by statutory auditor with with his login credentials on the XBRL portal. DNBS 13 overseas return, even if the NBFC is not having any overseas investments in company, the nil return is also compulsory. Then you have to file DNBS 13. It's also applicable for all the kind of NBFCs. DNBS 13, that is the nil return, needs to be filed every quarterly. So DNBS 13 is the quarterly return, and 4A and a 4B. If the NBFC having asset size more than 100 CR, then it needs to file 4A and 4B. 4A is the quarterly and 4B is the monthly return. And 4A and 4B return is all about ALM, assets liability management of the company, where you have to demonstrate within 7 days, it's within 15 days, all about the hierarchy that you have to just mention in these returns. If I talk about the regulatory aspect, the secretarial, about all the companies that we need to file, or the ROC forms, one extra board resolution that will come. And also the XBRL returns would come into the picture if it's NBFCs. The various regulatory part that we seen for the RBI, and also all the labor laws that we have to follow for other companies, that would also come into the picture. FEMA, if particularly FDI is there, then you have to follow the FEMA regulations and also file the XBRL DNBS 13 returns. That would come into the pictures. And also for the direct tax and indirect taxations part, that you have to go as if like any other companies only, but there are extra deductions part under sections 36 also for the NBFCs. There many of times it's also the litigations matter that you need to consider extra for the NBFCs. I think it's already 5 o'clock, so I will not take much upon the time. We can just take any of the questions. Thank you so much, friends, for the listening me out. This is the contact details. And this is also my QR code in case just you wish to scan. I'm just handing over to the coordinators if they just wish to take any questions. Just due to time constraint, I have not covered in detail each and everything, but really sorry and pardon me if I was too fast. If you have any questions, member, then we can take 5 minutes, I think, for this. No, Rucha, you are not audible. I think you are on a mute or what?
Am I audible now?
Yeah, you are perfectly audible now.
Yeah. I think you explained in such a lucid way that candidates are not asking any questions because a lot of the questions must have been answered while you were giving the presentation. So thank you so much for your valuable time, and with such a sincerity and simplicity, you have explained such a ocean-like topic. So thank you so much. Right from registrations to statutory compliances to what is PBC criteria and what is annexure 3, and the way you explained in the flow in which the presentation was going was really nice. So I propose a very hearty vote of thanks on behalf of Women and Young Members Excellence Committee, and thank you so much for your valuable time. I propose my thanks to our Chairman Preeti Savla ma'am also, and Vice Chairman Abhay Chhajed sir also. So thank you so much, Swati ma'am. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much for inviting me, and my sincere gratitude and heartfelt thanks to Preeti Savla ma'am for this wonderful opportunity on her absence here. Thank you so much, and thank you to all the members for passionate listening. Thank you.
Thank you so much. I now hand over the next session to CA Hiloni ma'am. Thank you so much.
Hello. Am I audible?
Yes, very much audible.
So I would like to introduce next speaker. So young members, for chartered accountants like us, golden mantra to live is debit what comes in and credit what goes out. While this may help us to enhance our financial health, but this is rather ineffective when it comes to our physical and mental health. So unlike accounting standards, the golden mantras here are not very defined and regulated, and sometimes even challenging. So to celebrate this International Yoga Day, we have a special guest with us who will help us to navigate through such challenges. She is a yoga instructor, wellness therapist, and nutritionist with a long, impressive list of certifications in the field of weight management consultancy, child nutrition, and holistic health. These certifications combined with her years of experience and commitment to ongoing learning. So, without further delay, please join me in welcoming Mrs. Reena Gala to guide us on how to analyze our body through yoga. So, thank you, and over to you, ma'am.
Yeah. Hello, everyone, and thank you so much, Hiloni, for such a welcoming. Greetings to everybody, and wish you all a very happy International Yoga Day. I'm really very privileged that I've got the honor of, celebrating yoga with all very young, high entrepreneur and very energetic ladies. And I hope I can deliver my best. So here, before starting, I would like to start with a small prayer. So everybody just join your hands and close your eyes. Karagre vaste Lakshmi, Karmadde Saraswati, Karmuleshya Govinda, Prabhate Kar Darshanam. Just rub your hands. Place it on your eyes and your face, and then slowly you can open your eyes. Yeah. Since you all are a sedentary worker and majority of the time during the day, you only have a sitting posture. Am I right? So I would just like to know, just a brief, I just would like to know, can I interaction with all of you in a chat box? Well, I'll be able to see. Let us make a bit interaction section. Huh? So I would like to know the entire whole in a week, how many of you all are indulging the physical activity? If yes or no, whatever it is, just write on a chat box. I want everybody to be participant. I just want whether you're indulging into any physical activity, maybe yoga, jogging, running, walking, swimming, badminton, aerobics, dance, whatever it is. Few stretches might be. It will be really helpful. Anyway, I am assuming some of maybe and some of due to maybe a very hectic schedule might not be. So before that, can we go through a small test where you can sit with your paper and a pen? Is that possible, all of you? Iloni, can we do that?
Yes, ma'am.
Yeah. So just sit with your paper and a pen. I want you to rate yourself, 1 being to the highest and 10 being to the very lowest. The question starts here. Energy when you wake up. Suppose you are very energetic when you are waking up. So I want you all to rate 2. Or suppose while waking up, you feel that, certain times ऐसा होता है कि हमारी नींद पूरी नहीं होती है. Or maybe due to very stress, overthinking, some disturbance, whatever it is, आपकी नींद नहीं होती है, in the morning you're not so energetic. So if you don't feel yourself energetic once you wake up, then I want you to rate accordingly. So 8, 9, 10 being the worst side. Right? The second question is like energy throughout the day. That was only for the morning. The second is throughout the day. Third is like sleep quality. How is your sleep quality? You have to rate it as a very good, it's a sound sleep, then rate to the lowest number, and the sound, like the quality of your sleep, that is sound sleep is not that good, you can rate to the highest, and that is above 6. Now the fourth one is state of thoughts during the day. State of thoughts, here I mean to say having positive thinking, negative thinking, you are getting all sort of like say you don't feel the thoughts, very very affirmative. It is like always कि नहीं ये मेरे से नहीं होगा, मैं नहीं कर पाऊंगी, मैं assignment submit नहीं कर पाऊंगी, मेरे से ये work नहीं होगा. If I go here, then what about my office work? What answer I have to give to my boss or maybe to my client? So whatever negative thoughts coming, then make it to the lower side, or it's a very positive thoughts throughout the day, you make it to the lower side. Okay, the fifth is stress you feel during the day. Like obviously you are working, so what are the amount of stress? Stress, it's like nobody is without stress. Everybody has certain kinds of a stress, but then how you are able to manage with that stress, how you are able to convince yourself. So according to your rate yourself, then sixth is the digestive issues. Since you all are a sedentary worker, I don't know whether physically movement you have enough, or what are your eating habits, or maybe your lifestyle, what are food, what are the food habits you are following. Accordingly, you are having any digestive issues, then rate yourself according to that. Then seventh is, do you take medicines or face any health challenge? Eighth is, do you look older than your age? Ninth is, do you have cravings? Suppose kabhi aisa hota hai during exam times, or maybe even during work times, you always have like a cravings. Abhi mujhe meetha khana hai, chatpata khana hai. Do you think summers I want to drink, chill some soft drinks, or ice creams khani hai, meetha khana hai. So do you have any such types of cravings? Or kabhi, when you are entering in the kitchen, तो kitchen में कुछ अभी तक खाना नहीं बना है, तो you just open your this thing shelf of the snacks, तो वो तला हुआ नमकीन खाने का कभी मन करता है. तो are you having any cravings? Then 10th one is, do you need tea or a coffee to feel more energetic? अभी suppose आप शाम के time में after you are sitting say around 4-5 o'clock, so if you hadn't have enough of sleep, तो वो boost नहीं मिलता है, तो again you feel के चलो यार एक coffee दे दो या फिर एक चाय दे दो, तो at least I'll feel energetic. अरे सिर दर्द कर रहा है, चाय नहीं पिया, come on give me a cup of a tea, तो at least I'll feel energetic, and my rest of the day I can still extend or still stretch myself for working. Then it goes here, do you feel frequent pain? Frequent pain में से कभी बैठते हो तो you have a lower back spasm है, कभी बहुत लैपटॉप या तो मोबाइल से ऑपरेट करते हो तो कभी उंगलियां दुख जाती है, हाथ दुख जाता है, कभी आप टॉकिंग ऑन द फोन तो we have like एक हाथ से you are operating the PC और लैपटॉप और दूसरे हाथ से you are talking on the phone, तो कभी कभी ये दर्द होने लगता है. too much this position, तो कभी यहाँ की गर्दन में वो थोड़ा दुख जाता है, तो you feel के ऐसा कुछ पेन हो रहा है. और the sitting posture है, you're not like movement नहीं होता है, your posture is only one kind, तो थोड़ा hips पे, calf पे, knees पे, knee joint पे problem होता है, because most of the time you're always in a one posture. And the 12th one is, do you often fall sick? अभी ऐसे कभी बीमार होते हैं तो it's like हाँ maybe it's a viral है, या तो climate change है, या तो आज मैंने ये खा लिया था, आज मैंने वो खा लिया था. तो just rate yourself according to, do you fall sick often? अगर often sick हो, suppose के साल में like कभी कभी ऐसा काफी ज्यादा कि you have to go to your doctor and go for a medicine कि आज ये हो रहा है, आज ये ठीक नहीं हो रहा है because of this and because of that. So according to your rate yourself, I'll just give you 1 minute, इस सब का total करके रखो. Just be quick in doing your total. Yeah, that's fine. I hope you must have finished with that. I'll tell you the result of that later on. As of now, let us start with few asanas. I think so you all must be awaiting for that. Before starting, like me teaching you with the asanas, there are a lot many asanas. जैसे कि initially तो we start with the breathing. एक बार आपका breathing strong हो जाए, where your immunity, your ability, फिर वो सांस रोकने की, where you are like holding your breath for the longer time, asanas भी करते हो, then it is not like doing the exercise. You have to hold each and every part of your body for a longer time with your breathe in and with your breathe out. तो उसके पहले we are doing all breathing techniques. And उसके बाद asanas है पेट के बल, you know, like you are lying on your back, lying on your stomach, sitting asanas, standing asanas. There are many types of a Surya Namaskar. But since a constraint of a time and, you know, looking into your lifestyle, I have just designed it few asanas which will be very helpful into day-to-day life. So we'll start this with a prana karshan kriya. Prana karshan kriya matlab pran karshan, pran matlab itself is it's a life. So ये जो प्राण कर्षण क्रिया है, it is like a deep breathing. But make sure जब आप deep breathing करते हो in intervals, तो फिर कम से कम AC नहीं होना चाहिए on. It has to be like आपके पास fresh air आना चाहिए. Make sure that your window is open, or maybe there is a good circulation of air. Only the thing is, I want it should not be there like when the AC is on, or maybe the good night hai ya kuch you know odor hai, a strong odor, maybe some room freshener वगैरह हो, अगरबत्ती हो, it should not be there. Make sure that you are doing it in a very मतलब very good quality of air. I don't mean to say कि अगर suppose आप कहीं main road side रहते हो, office में work करते हो, and there's a lot of pollution, so make sure that it's not enough of pollution. तो वो कैसे करना है? Just you have to stand like erect, posture erect होना चाहिए. Breathe in and as slow as इतना slow breathing होना चाहिए. You have to hold your breath as long as you can, and then slowly you have to breathe out. So we'll practice that. Close your eyes, everybody, and start breathing and just start following my instruction. Start breathing. Inhale. Inhale करते वक्त your stomach should be out. Hold the breath and then slowly exhale. While exhale, your stomach has to go in. But make sure जब भी आप ये क्रिया करते हो, तो otherwise make sure it is there for 2 minutes or make it for a 12 counts. 12 counts कैसे होना चाहिए? When you're breathing in, holding and out, that is your 1 count. So at least I want you all to practice for a 6 counts right now. Don't open your eyes. Continue. I'll be giving you few instructions. I'll be explaining you the benefits of it, because after you finish and then I'll be explaining the benefits, it will be too lengthy process, and then I won't be able to cover few asanas which I want to show you. So you just continue the process, and I'll be giving you the simultaneously I'll be telling you the benefits of that. जब भी आप इनहेल एक्सहेल कर रहे हो, मेक श्योर कि आप लॉट ऑफ पॉजिटिवनेस ले रहे हो. आप जो सृष्टि के पास जो एनर्जी है फ्रॉम द प्लांट्स के पास अद्भुत एनर्जी, प्राण शक्ति क्रिया जिसको कहते हैं, अद्भुत होती है. उनके पास से लो, वायु तत्व के, जल तत्व के, अग्नि तत्व के पास से यू आर टेकिंग लॉट ऑफ एनर्जी. सूर्य देवता है, उसके भी पास से आप एनर्जी ले सकते हो. हमारे आसपास लॉट ऑफ ऑक्सीजन से एनर्जी लो और आपकी हर एक सेल्स के अंदर पहुंचाओ उससे, और सेल्स को आप एक मैसेज दो. जहां जहां भी आपको दुख रहा है, अनइजीनेस लग रहा है, अनकंफर्टेबल लग रहा है, उनको वो मैसेज दो कि आपको हील होना है. सी अ स्मॉल मेडिसिन वो आपको ठीक नहीं कर पाएगी. हमारा सेशन का नाम क्या है? एनालाइज योर बॉडी. तो एनालाइज योर बॉडी कैसे होगा? जब आप अपने आप से बात करोगे, अपने बॉडी पार्ट से बात करोगे, हर एक सेल से बात करोगे, दैट यू हैव टू हील योरसेल्फ. से एक मेडिसिन है, वो क्या ठीक कर पाएगी? इनफैक्ट बी योर ओन डॉक्टर, हील योर ओन सेल्फ, लिसन टू योर बॉडी, टॉक टू योर बॉडी, और अपने अंदर से वो पॉजिटिवनेस, वो एनर्जी डालो कि उसके अंदर एवरीथिंग गेट्स हील्ड अप. एंड बिलीव मी, दिस इज वेरी मच कनेक्टेड टू द होलिस्टिक हेल्थ. और इससे यू नो एवरीथिंग इज अ माइंडसेट, सब थॉट्स पे डिपेंड होता है. वंस योर थॉट्स आर स्ट्रांग, आई कैन गारंटी यू विद हाफ, मोर देन हाफ ऑफ योर जो भी डिजीज है वो उसे रिवर्स कर पाओगे. एंड दिस आई वुड जस्ट लाइक टू गिव यू वन टेस्टिमनी कि मेरी एक स्टूडेंट है, उसे 4th स्टेज ऑफ लंग कैंसर था. And right now, just a miracle had happened. Maybe if you within but medicine also, but holistic health be itna strong with the breathing and lungs karvaya. Now he's almost with no cancer at all, or is hardly, now anything is left over. Imagine 4th stage of lung cancer. It's like a bonus life he was living. The age only he was like 42 years. So now he's just come to the 1st stage of lung cancer. और वो भी डॉक्टर ने कहा शायद वो भी है तो नहीं, but just you don't make yourself so lenient. लेकिन ये भी चला जाएगा as a time being. So continue what you are doing right now. Anyways, let me share you with the benefits. उससे हमारा मन स्थिर होगा, आपका माइंड बहुत ही स्टेबल होगा, जिंदगी के सही निर्णय में, forget about the जिंदगी, even आपके बिजनेस के भी आप सही डिसीजन ले पाओगे. I know because there is a lot of a mental cognitive you have during your work, so you'll be able to take the right decision. Aapka good for your blood circulation hoga, and there are many other benefits also, which we can cover up as and when we can go on. Now the second asana which I want to tell you is that Netra Snan. What is Netra Snan? आज forget about not only about your people, अब हर एक लोग छोटे बच्चे से लेके बुजुर्गों तक everybody are so much engrossed in the screen. अगर suppose हाउस मेकर को भी कुछ चाहिए, रेसिपीज देखना है, ये देखना है, चेक करना है, कुछ डिसाइड करना है, again go to the screen, मोबाइल पे जाओ, all the social medias and your people. उसके अलावा you are exposed to lot of screen, maybe a computer है या लैपटॉप है, आईपॉड है, टीवी है, मोबाइल है. तो उसकी वजह से हमारी आईज बहुत ही स्ट्रेन होती है, बहुत ही स्ट्रेस होती है. तो उसके लिए हमें क्या करना है? नेत्र स्नान. नेत्र स्नान how to be done? Suppose it should be done twice in a day, morning, afternoon and evening. Morning you can do it while brushing your teeth. Afternoon, once you wake up from your nap, you can do it. In the evening, before going to bed, you can do it. How you have to do is you have to fill water in your mouth, and you have to splash water. शुरू में आंख बंद हो जाएगी, but in his habit वो आंख खुली हो जाएगी. You have to splash water. मुंह में पानी भर के you have to splash water. This how many times you have to do? At a time 3. Again, day में भी 3 times करना है आप. I'll just tell you the benefit of it. Netra Snan ke, it is like any deformities related to the eyes, then वो निकल जाती है. आंखों की गर्मी, दो हीट होता है, even that will go away. आपकी नजर है वो तेज होती है, या स्पेक्स के जो नंबर्स है वो स्टेबल होंगे, बढ़ेंगे नहीं. फिर you have got a good quality sleep होती है. आंखों से जल्दी झपक नहीं है ना. Sometimes what happen if you don't have enough of sleep, we tend to strain होता है, maybe because of that light also. तो आंखें बार-बार झपक ही जाती है, तो ये भी the problem will get healed. फिर when you are filling water in your mouth, तो वो मुंह की जो गर्मी है वो भी निकल जाती है. प्लस वो आलस्य है, लेजीनेस है, lethargic है, even that will go away and you will get a lot of स्फूर्ति, that is बहुत energetic feel होगा आपको throughout the day. So that is the Netra Snan. So now again we'll go is to Ashwini Mudra. Ashwini Mudra is like आप ये चेयर पे बैठ के भी कर सकते हैं, or else when you are going to a washroom, that time also you can do it. Ashwini Mudra is like where you are passing your stools or urine from. उसको yogic language में बोलते हैं मूलबन या तो गुदाबन. उसको contract, relax, or expand, leave, expand, leave. जैसे कि हम लोग रोक के रखते हैं. If we are whenever we are somewhere out, हम कहीं बाहर जाते हैं और वो वॉशरूम तक पहुंचने में थोड़ा वक्त होता है, तो हम क्या करते हैं, उसको पकड़ के रखते हैं. तो सेम थिंग यू हैव टू डू. छोड़ो, पकड़ो, कॉन्ट्रैक्ट, रिलैक्स, कॉन्ट्रैक्ट और एक्सपांड. अभी भी आप कर सकते हो क्रिया. हाँ, गुदा के स्थान की नस नड़ियां मुलायम होती है. गुदा स्थान इज वेयर यू आर पासिंग योर स्टूल्स एंड लेटरिन फ्रॉम. वहां की व्हाटएवर लाइक वेन्स, आर्टरीज, मसल्स, लिगामेंट, टिश्यूज है वो थोड़े स्मूथ होंगे. गुदा स्थान के विकार, दैट इज पाइल्स, फिशर्स, वो सब निकल जाएंगे. कॉन्स्टिपेशन है, यू विल गेट अ वेरी एनर्जेटिक लाइक अ हॉर्स. फिर वीर्य और रज के दोष दूर होते हैं. वीर्य and rajat is like something related to the female organs or the male organs. उसके जो भी विकार है, जो भी deformities है निकल जाएंगे. Even it is very good for your constipation and your digestion. Okay. Now we'll go to another mudras, that is Shitkari. I hope till now whatever I'm able to convey is like you're able to understand or grasp.
Yes, ma'am. Yes,
Yeah.
ma'am.
Now we'll go to when we'll go for a Shitkari. Abhi Shitkari क्या है? Shit itself means a coolness, ठंडक, ठंडक देती है. तो right now it is a summer. अभी समर चल रहा है, प्लस आपकी बॉडी में लॉट ऑफ बहुत सारी अदर एक्टिविटीज भी चलती है. दैट इज व्हाइल यू आर ईटिंग फूड और मे बी यू आर डूइंग सम अदर एक्टिविटी. तो बॉडी में जो हीट पैदा हो जाती है, तो अनावश्यक हीट को एंड अनवांटेड हीट को रिड ऑफ करने के लिए वी हैव टू डू दिस शीतकारी क्रिया. वो शीतकारी क्रिया कैसे करते हैं? लाइक हमें हमारा जो वायु है, ऑक्सीजन है, वी हैव टू टेक इट फ्रॉम आवर माउथ and we have to remove it from, we have to exhale it from our nose. It's like this. Close your mouth and exhale from your nose. This like you all can continue with this exercise. I'll show you one more time and you can just continue with it till simultaneously I'll be telling you the benefits of it. Like आपको ठंडा महसूस होता होगा. डू यू फील द कोल्डनेस इन योर माउथ, इन योर टीथ, इन योर गम्स, इन योर मसल्स एंड द माउथ मसल्स? राइट, दिस इज कॉल्ड एज अ शीतकारी. वो भी आप कुछ इंटरवल्स में कर सकते हैं. हाँ, ड्यूरिंग समर यू हैव टू डू द 3 सेट्स at least 10 times. During winter you have to do 3 sets for hardly say 5 counts, because as it is the outside temperature is very cool. So that time you have to do a lesser counts, but in the summer you have to do a larger counts, more counts. Okay, you all can continue. I'll tell you the benefits of it. दांतों से खून आना, you know, sometimes you have a bleeding gums. So मसूड़े की बीमारी, that is your muscles का वो भी है, वो निकल जाएगा. पेट की जलन, या स्टमक में sometimes you know जलन होती है, हाइपर एसिडिटी हो जाता है, तो वो सब भी निकल जाएगा. पेट की स्टमक की अनवांटेड गर्मी है, हीट है, दैट विल आल्सो गेट रिड ऑफ. वक्रुत और आंतों के विकार, अगेन दैट इज समथिंग स्वोलन, या तो हीटनेस इन योर कोलोन, डाइजेस्टिव, वो भी निकल जाएंगे. फिर कड़की मुंह के अंदर जो छाले, समटाइम्स यू गॉट माउथ अल्सर्स, माउथ में अल्सर्स हो जाते हैं, इवन दैट विल आल्सो गो अवे. चेहरे में फोड़िया, दैट इज पिंपल्स, बॉयल्स, वो भी सब चले जाएंगे, दैट विल आल्सो गेट अवे. पाइल्स, फिशर्स, यू नो जनरली जिनको भगिंदर कहते हैं, बवाबी सार कहते हैं, इवन दैट विल ऑल गो अवे. स्किन रिलेटेड जो भी प्रॉब्लम्स है, इवन दैट विल गो अवे. चेहरे पर झुर्रियां, दैट इज रिंकल्स, पिंपल्स, फाइन लाइंस, सेगिंग्स, वो सब भी निकल जाएंगे. सो बेसिकली आई कैन से दैट इज अ फेशियल योगा. So again, if you are going to any beauty parlor and suppose a lack of time you are not able to go, then believe me, ladies and women or young women, ये रोज करने से ना, you will have that glow on your face, you will have that young and a glamorous look. Sagging hair, fine lines है, वो भी निकल जाएंगे. कितने भी related skin disease है, वो भी निकल जाएंगे. So make sure कि ये क्रिया आप रोज करते रहो. Right? That is called as a shitkari. Okay. Now with the fifth asanas we'll do, that is Samanahasta Kati Chakrasan. और समानहस्त कटी चक्रासन कैसे करते हैं? Now this is आपको थोड़ा सा खड़ा होना पड़ेगा. So हाँ, again अभी उससे I'll just give you a small tip again of the posture. Generally क्या होता है कि आपका posture है ना, वो बहुत ही affect होता है, because most of the time you are sitting. So make sure कि half an hour is enough and you be in a one posture. उसके बाद make sure that at least you are standing up. थोड़ा सा हल्का सा स्ट्रेचेस करो, डू सम लाइट मूवमेंट्स, थोड़ा सा वॉक करो. और अगर इन बिटवीन व्हेन यू आर गेटिंग अ फोन कॉल्स, तो phone calls के वक्त में क्या करो, either it's like you just close your eyes, do a deep breathing, practice some deep breathing, or else just stand up and have a movement, थोड़ा सा हलन while you're talking to your phone, so at least your posture is being taken care of. Make sure बैठते उठते चलते सोते you have very erect posture, because अभी मैंने देखा है because of this a sedentary lifestyle, you're always like a couch, ऐसा हो जाता है ऐसा हो जाता है, अभी आपको नहीं पता चलेगा, as in time goes away, as you're aging, so that will slowly affect. और अभी ऐसा है, then slowly it will goes like ऐसा 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 ऐसा, and with the time in within a years वो ऐसा हो जाएगा, and you really face difficulty in lot of bones related, muscles related, ligaments related problems, like an say sciatica है, lower back spasm है, upper back है, waist problem है, कहीं पे fats का accumulation हो रहा है. See, but what happened is like your blood है वो accumulate हो जाता है, freeze हो जाता है. अगर उसे movement देंगे तो obviously it will distribute evenly to the other parts, other cells of your body. So make sure that while you are sitting, standing, walking, sleeping, you have a very erect posture. Okay, so now we'll go for a Samana Hasta, Kati Chakrasana. उसे कैसे करते हैं? I'll just stand up and show you. Here, just you have to stretch yourself, make your erect posture, stretch yourself, ऐसा. Your hands, your biceps should be to your ears level. Stretch, legs apart, थोड़े से legs apart, and you have to bend to the left. But again, make sure, breathe in, then towards your left side. Here you have to hold your breath as much as you can. Then slowly you have to come to the position or exhale. Breathe out. That time you have to lower your hands. Same I will show you with your with the right side. Breathe in. Then towards your right. Your knee shouldn't bend. Hold the breath as much as you can. Slowly come to the side and exhale. Right, so you all will want to do once or twice. It will be better if you all do, so at least you can recollect. So I'll give you a few more minutes. You can practice this asana. Legs apart, don't bend your knees. Turn to your left. Hold your breath. Hold your breath. Then slowly come back to the position. Yeah, with exhaling. Same you can repeat with the right side. You can practice several, say at least 3 times or till that time. I will just tell you the benefits of it. Okay, Richa, you have a question. You have raised your hand. Roshni, I think so, have raised a hand. Is she having any query about it? Eloni, can you help me with that?
Roshni hello, Roshni, you can share your query, like you can directly ask ma'am.
Okay, till she's audible, can I go with the benefits? रीढ़ की हड्डी और गर्दन की शिकायतें. So whatever problems you are facing related to your neck, to your spinal cord, that will go away. पेट की नड़ियां जो है मल रहित. So whatever there is a junk which is accumulated in your stomach or maybe the colon, even that will gradually go away. or you'll have a nice bowel movements. Constipation will go away. Your body will be very flexible, so it is good for your flexibility. Raja Virya ke dose, that is related to female or male, it will go away. Sciatica problem even will go away. So शरीर में जो खिंचाव, you are experiencing that stretch, और में भी जो stress आ रहा है कमर की बाजू, that is during your lowering और बोलते हैं waist side. Share your concern. के बाजू का मेद, जो the fats which is accumulating in your waistline, even that will go away. फिर हाथों का ऊपर खींचने से पसलियों में खिंचा, that is your rib cage, your lungs, that is even stretching when you are stretching your hands. तो इसके related भी जो भी problems हैं वो भी निकल जाएंगे, plus your lungs will expand, so you can accumulate more of oxygen. Whatever problem related like your hands, your biceps, your shoulders, because you're stretching them, you're bending them, तो वो भी सब निकल जाएंगे. वायु का प्रकोप means there are around 80 types of वात के प्रकार. There are again a yogic language में जिसको वात, कफ और पित्त कहते हैं. तो जो वात के there are 80 types of problems only regarding to वात, तो वो सब भी निकल जाएंगे. शरीर में जहरीला से टॉक्सिन्स है, obviously जब आपका पेट साफ आएगा, when you have a good bowel movements, your stool is clear, so obviously whatever toxins are there in your body, even that will go away. और whatever skin की problems ऐसी जो भी होता है, it's all stomach related. एक बार पेट साफ हो जाएगा तो obviously उसके related जो भी problems होंगे सब निकल जाएंगे, तो skin related problems भी आपके निकल जाएंगे. Okay, so now we'll go to Yog Mudra. That is Yog Mudra. Abhi Yog Mudra, again, it is like a sitting on a chair also. You can see, otherwise most of the asanas are supposed to do it in a Vajrasana or maybe Padmasana. But few asanas which I have taken, where you can sitting on the chair also, you can do. Abhi now it is like a Yoga Mudra. So Yoga Mudra, it's like kaise karte hai? Just you have to fold your hands. Breathe in karte karte, you have to just raise your hands, stretch yourself. You have to hold your breath. Then you have to look up to the ceiling. You have to hold your breath while you're looking upward. Hold the breath as much as you can. Once you feel that you want to release your breath, you have to come in the front. And slowly, slowly exhaling, you have to bring your hands to your normal position. Right? So, ये अगर आपको थोड़ा बहुत यहाँ पे दर्द होता है, दुखता है, तो you can do this Yoga Mudra. Again, I'll show you one more time. Inhale. Your hands should be straight. Look up. Hold your breath. Stay as much as you can. 10 to 20 minimum counts. It will be really good, really better. Come in the front. Slowly exhale and bring your hand to the normal position. Okay. So I'll just tell you the benefits of it, and like आपको practice करना है, तो you can carry on with your practice till I give you the benefits of it. बाजू में खिंचाव, बाजू means that are your biceps and your hands. उसमें खिंचाव, that is stress. तनाव आने से पसलियां, that is your lungs, rib cage पूरी खींची जाती है. बाजू का मेद, सी दोस्त किया है, किसी किसी के हाथ हैंड में है ना, बाइसेप्स में there's lots of fats, मोटे होते हैं, right? तो वो मेद है, जो चर्बी है, वो निकल जाएगी. गले की ग्रंथियां, कार्यक्षम, there are almost 3 glands near your throat, जैसे कि thyroid gland है, बाकी के there are almost, like I just gave you an example, वैसे और भी 3 ग्रंथियां होती है, उसको भी वो बहुत ही active, तो it is very good for the thyroid patients. Plus छोटे मगज की कार्यक्षमता, that's good for your brain. for your medulla oblongata. खून का संचार बराबर, it's good for your blood circulation. Right. Now, उसमें ही second type is like you have to fold your hands. जब भी आप आपके hands fold करेंगे, that time again it is the same procedure. Breathe in, slowly you have to go. Look up. Hold your breath. Come in the front. Slowly raise your hand down while exhaling. That is the second type of a yoga mudra. Hamari gardan, I just tell you the benefits. If you want to practice, you can practice. So I tell you with my benefits. Just hold on. हमारी गर्दन कभी भी पीछे की ओर नहीं चाहती है. See, see, always you are like working this way, whether you are working in your kitchen or maybe you are doing something on your table or a desktop or maybe mobile or a computer, always your neck is downwards, right? So वो हमेशा आगे की ओर झुकती है. तो ये नमन मुद्रा मतलब ये योग मुद्रा करने से गर्दन की नस नलियां खुली हो जाती है, हमारी बाहें भी मजबूत होती है. So now we'll go to the ninth asana, that is Tadasana. Now again, Tadasana, how we have to do is, it is a standing posture. So while now we have to stand against the wall, go and make sure all your body parts, like your heels, your seat portion, that is your buttocks, your upper back, your head, everything is touching the wall. So this is the right posture. If you all can stand up and it will be really very beneficial for you all. Make sure it is aligned to the wall. Be there for a few seconds and then you can just stretch your hands. Heels upwards. You have to just lift yourself upwards and then start walking on your toes. It is like you have to walk on your toes. See, this is what my heels were down. I have just lifted my heels. I've stretched my hands and everything aligned to the wall and start walking on your toes. If any of you can't walk your toes, then at least make sure that all your back body parts are towards the wall and be in that position as much as you can. It's okay if you can't walk or can't lift your heels. Or else even you can do this. Suppose if this is a chair, make sure this is very good for the lower back spasm or a lower back pain. Make sure that your hands are straight. I'll show you one more time. It has to be in a perpendicular position, 90 degrees. Slowly, you can come back to the position. So you practice Tadasana, I'll tell you the benefits of it. रीढ़ की हड्डी सीधी और मजबूत बनती है. दैट इज योर स्पाइनल कॉर्ड. वेरी गुड फॉर योर स्पाइनल कॉर्ड और फॉर योर कोर स्ट्रेंथनिंग. हाथों और पैरों में खिंचाव आने से रक्त का संचार बराबर होने लगता है. गुड फॉर योर ब्लड सर्कुलेशन. इससे पैरों और तलवे की नस नड़ियां मजबूत होती है. सो अगेन गुड फॉर योर हील्स, गुड फॉर योर फीट, गुड फॉर योर काफ मसल्स, गुड फॉर योर नीज. एड़ियां का दर्द और पैरों की जलन निकल जाती है. किसी किसी को ये एक्सपीरियंस किया होगा. इन द फीट यू हैव अ बर्निंग सेंसेशन. कभी कभी हॉट फ्लैशेस भी होते हैं बॉडी में, तो दैट विल ऑल्सो गो अवे. यू विल फील वेरी एनर्जेटिक. स्फूर्ति आती है, आलस्य चला जाता है, लेजीनेस है, लथार्जिक है, वो सब निकल जाएगा. और इट इज वेरी गुड फॉर द चिल्ड्रन. उनकी अगर हाइट बढ़ानी हो तो आप आपको बच्चों को भी ये आसन सिखा सकते हो, ताड़ासन, वेयर दे वांट टू हैव अ गुड हाइट. ओके, now we'll go to the next asana, that is Utkatasana. Since your majority of the time you are in a sitting posture, तो घुटनों में बहुत ही प्रेशर आता है. और कभी कभी तो I have seen in many women के they really find a lot of problems by sitting down or bending self, or कुछ घुटनों को related while climbing down or climbing up the stairs. So this is Utkatasana. Is like how we have to do is, you just have to put your legs apart, spread your hands, then you have to sit as a chair position. Or knees to be bend रहेंगे. So you have to bend your knees. And I'll show you like this. Make sure you're not leaning forward. Otherwise, you'll have a great pressure on your knees. You have to sit as if you're sitting on a chair, like this. And if possible, if you look at again, lift your heels. Heels will lift कर सकते हैं. If you can't lift your heels, it's okay to sit in this position. It is called as a Utkatasana. I'll tell you the benefits of Utkatasana. Till that time, you can practice if you all want. मेरुदंड की कार्यक्षमता में वृद्धि आती है. What is मेरुदंड? Is like it is very beneficial for your upper back, for your lower back. Even it is very good for your waistline. उसकी नस नड़ियां जो है वो मजबूत होंगी. It will be very strong for your waistline. Then जांघों, घुटनों और पिंडलियों का व्यायाम होता है. So again, that is good for your buttocks, for your hips, for your thighs. It will be very strong. The muscles, the tissues, the bones will become very strong. घुटनों का, that is good for your knee, even good for your waistline or lavering, you can say. पेट पर, नाभि पर दबाव आने से पेट की नसनड़ियां भी शुद्ध होती है. See, there are navel से connected, there are around 72,000 नसनड़ियां होती है. तो वो सब एक्टिव होंगे और कार्यक्षम बनेंगे ये उत्कटासन करने के लिए. Heloni, do I have a time to do, to include more asanas, or you want to stop me over
Yes,
here?
ma'am. Yes, ma'am. We can continue for 5 to 7 minutes more.
Okay, fine. Then second what I will, after Utkatasana, I will go for, that is a Brahma Mudra. Again, that even you can do when sitting on a chair. वो ब्रह्म मुद्रा कैसे करते हैं? तो हाँ, on a chair itself you can sit in a Sukhasana or maybe Padmasana. Whatever position, make sure that you are always your legs are down. Sometimes you can even sit on a chair with your legs like a Padmasana or Sukhasana. Okay, and make sure that even you practice Vajrasana. Vajrasana is like sitting with your, this is a position where you have to bend your legs. So make sure even you sit in Vajrasana at least after your 3 meals. That is again good. That posture is very good for digesting your food. So in Brahma Mudra, like how we have to do is, in an intervals of your working hours, you can little bit stiffen your neck, slowly go to your left, or नीचे से slowly go towards your right. You should have a stretch here on your neck. It will be like a pendulum. So you can see it again. Slowly go to your left. Get it down and slowly to your right side. 5 times left and 5 times right. You can continue with it. Yes. And in Brahma Mudra itself, Kruti, this is called as a Kruti. Kruti means the second thing what we can do is do a Jhatka. Jhatka is like left, then again right. It is like little bit forcefully you have to do. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Basically, you have to do it for the 10 times. Yes. Then उससे भी third prakar is like this is the third type. ऊपर से you have to do left and right. Slowly left, then go towards the right. But you have to lift to stretch your neck to the upwards. Upward left and upward right. Not in a circular motion. You shouldn't do any circular motions with your neck. Okay, I'll just tell you the benefits of it. गर्दन की छोटी नस नड़िया कार्यक्षम होती है. Any नस नड़िया related with your neck, that will become very active. स्मरण शक्ति बढ़ने लगती है. Good for your memory, because you're having a very good blood circulation in your brain. फिर छोटा मगज है, your medulla oblongata or what are the parts in your brain, they become very active. Thyroid granthi related to your thyroxine glands, they become very active, so it is very beneficial those who are having thyroid. मस्तिष्क में सुकून का संचार बराबर होने लगता है, so it's a very good for the flow of blood in your brain. So Brahma Mudra mein second is like कंधों के प्रकार. कंधों के, it is now will come towards the down side, that is your shoulders. I'll just show you कि कैसे करना है. Your left shoulder पहले in and out 5 times, outwards to in 5 times, then with your right in to out 5 times, out to in 5 times, and with both the shoulders again you have to in from like in to out 5 times, out to in 5 times. It has to be a proper circular motion. It is like you should draw a circle, but make sure while doing this asana, you're looking in the front side. You're not bending to your left and doing like this. ऐसा नहीं होना चाहिए. This thing has to be straight, वरना यहाँ की नस नलियाँ कुछ दब सकती है. So make sure that while doing this asana, you're always on your circular motion and you're always looking in the front and straight. Yeah. Now we'll come still downwards. We'll come to our elbow portion. Elbow portion में कैसा, you have to keep your your 5 fingers on your shoulder level, and then you have to just roll them. यहाँ from in to out 5, out to in 5 times. It is you should go from your ears. Then right, in and out 5 times, out to inwards 5 times. Then we'll do with both our hands. Like ऐसा करने से this way. A very circular motion, but make sure it is to your ears level. ऐसा नहीं करना है. You have to bring both your elbows to the front, upwards and then backwards. Same thing then you have to do in a reverse position. So you can continue doing this asana. Simultaneously, I'll explain you the benefits of it. Good for your blood circulation. Then kandho related bimari, that will go away. Whatever your problems related to your shoulders, that will go away. कभी कभी बाहों में भी वायु का प्रकोप हो जाता है, frozen shoulders. So good those who have frozen shoulders. फिर पसलियां ऊपर नीचे होने से your lungs they get expands and are able to grab more and more oxygen. And muggle ka myth, that is those who have fat accumulation in the biceps or the shoulders, वो भी निकल जाएगा. Helonia, I think as of now के लिए that will be enough. So even if you all want few nutrition tips, so I can go with that. So now anybody is having any problem or want to ask any questions related yoga or asanas where I can explain you.
How much time it will take, ma'am?
See, nutrition is again a very vast and a lengthy distinct topic, but I can cover up as much as short like we want. Otherwise, it's
Like,
a very
we
lengthy
can-
topic.
Yes, but we can have some synopsis like what to have in our diet, regular diet.
Yeah, see, basically, Filal, I'll start with the water. So make sure always to drink water sip by sip. कभी भी खड़े होके standing posture में ऐसा पानी you should not drink. See, have you ever noticed me? I was drinking water sip by sip. So always make sure that you keep a bottle which has to be either a glass or a metal. Avoid plastic bottles. So you can always keep a bottle beside you and try to have a sip by sip water. Never gulp an entire glass or entire bottle of water at a time. Again, second thing is I like to tell you after your any meal, any 3 meals, not to have water at least for 1 hour. And before meal, half an hour, you should not drink water. You can have an infused, like you can have a buttermilk or any sort of infused water even during the day. Like abhi monsoon hai, so you can always add a ginger powder, soot powder, jisko bolte hain, a dry ginger powder, a little bit of it, and you can have it with the water, or maybe the tej patta, or dalchini, or cinnamon powder. Also, you can add in the water. You can have sip by sip water. Or again, अगर पानी की बात रही तो better. I can understand it's a summer, but try to have water in a room temperature, not very chilled water. Morning hours, make sure you have a glass of a warm water. Either you can add a haldi powder, that's a turmeric powder, or a lemon juice. Half a lemon juice is enough if you want to reduce your weight. Or even you can say 1/4 spoon of cinnamon powder if you want to again reduce your weight. So this is how you have to drink your water. And make sure that while sleeping, before sleeping, at least you empty your kidney, that is you pass your urine before sleeping to bed. So that is what water. और क्या खाना चाहिए, क्या खाना नहीं चाहिए? See, less of a very processed food, junk food, packet food, polished food. As much as it will be very good since you are having a sedentary lifestyle, I would always recommend that you go for a natural foods. Natural foods like eat lot of fresh leafy vegetables, eat lot of salads, eat pulses, which are again you can boil the pulses. Even oils or ghee, again they become a refined, so just try to avoid it. And try to have lots of colorful foods. Colorful in the sense of every color has its own impact. Just say green is very good for your eyesight, white is again very good for your brain. So have lot of colorful foods in your diet. What more I can give you is, again, if you can follow the biological clock or the nature clock. The nature of the biological clock, what it is, always try to have food when the sun is there in your, like, when you have a daylight or when the sun is there on your head. After sunset, try to avoid food. And even while you have, once you've had food, it will be really good if you do the Tadasana. Tadasana is like, again, you're stretching yourself or thoda bahut a walk karte ho. So a little bit of a movement again will be very helpful for digesting your food. And as I said, a ginger powder, then it's a very good for digestion of your food. It will be much better if you have any queries or any questions regarding the food and nutrition part, because it's a very vast topic. Generally,
Yes.
everybody knows that you have to eat a very natural food rather than a processed or this thing food.
Correct.
So,
We have one question.
Yeah, sure.
Like, is there any tip for a frequent headache?
For a frequent headache, see
Headache,
उसकी
yes.
वजह, हाँ frequent headache, तो उसकी वजह क्या हो सकती है? There is something in your stomach. आपका पेट साफ नहीं हो रहा है, first thing. आपका you have a constipation problem, या तो आपको कुछ हाइपर एसिडिटी है, तो अगेन उसकी वजह से भी हेड मतलब दुख सकता है. पित्त का प्रकोप ज्यादा है, या पित्त का प्रकोप भी आपको ज्यादा, उसकी वजह से भी हेड उठता है और दुखने लगता है. तो मेन थिंग इज लाइक यू हैव टू, पहले जो आपका पित्त का प्रकोप है आप उसको हटा दीजिए. मेक श्योर कि आपका पेट है वो साफ होता है. और पेट साफ करने के बहुत सारे अलग अलग तरीके हैं जो मैं अपने स्टूडेंट को बताती हूँ. दैट इज वन इज लाइक आई टेल यू, फास्टिंग 36 और 72 hours of a fasting. That is really very good. Even पित्त को निकालने के लिए भी I'll come to it how it happens. Because क्या होता है, आपका फूड जो एक्यूमुलेट हो जाता है उसमें फर्मेंटेशन हो जाता है, रह जाता है, तो यू नो वो पित्त का प्रकोप हाइपर एसिडिटी और बढ़ा लेता है. एंड अगेन वो माइग्रेन होता है, हेडेक होता है. अभी तो धूप भी बहुत ज्यादा है, तो ट्राई टू इंडल्ज लॉट ऑफ कूलिंग फूड लाइक से है कि फेनल सीड्स जैसे बड़ी सौंफ है, सौंफ उसको भिगो के उसका एग्जामिशन कीजिए. देन शिया सीड्स है, उसका कंजम्पशन कीजिए. इट्स लाइक कूलिंग है. और पेपर पाउडर इफ आई टेल टू सी, वो त्रिदोष नाशक है, पित्त वात कफ तीनों को खत्म करता है. सो हैव अ पेपर पाउडर विद द फ्रूट्स. आप उस पे थोड़ा स्प्रिंकल करके यू कैन हैव पेपर पाउडर इन दैट फॉर्म ऑफ. तो मेक श्योर कि आपका जो हाइपर एसिडिटी है वो निकल जाता है. और हाइपर एसिडिटी मेक श्योर के अभी क्या है, the second is like a jal dhoti or a vyagra dhoti, which I always teach in a yoga. Jal dhoti, it's like you have to have lot of salty water and you have to warm it. उससे भी आपका पित्त है वो निकल जाएगा, तो you will have a very good relief in your again your headache. Then third is like I will suggest you can even take enema. आप YouTube वीडियो में जाके देख सकते हैं हाउ टू टेक एनीमा. अगेन इट इज अ वेरी गुड कि आपका जो पेट में कचरा है, जमा हुआ कचरा, जिससे हर बीमारी का जड़ होता है, पेट साफ तो रोग साफ, तो वो भी एक बार साफ हो जाएगा तो इट विल रियली हैव अ वेरी गुड रिलीफ फ्रॉम योर हेडेक. फिर हाइड्रोथेरेपी है. अगेन हाइड्रोथेरेपी इज लाइक cold cloth which you have to tie on a normal tap water. You have to soak that, you have to just उसको गीला करना है. white cotton के cloth को just wrap it around your head, wrap it around your neck and wrap it around your stomach. Your navel should be, your navel should be covered. Keep at least for 30 minutes in a day, or you can even do it twice in a day, at least for 3 months. Even that is a very good beneficial for your entire blood circulation, for your digestive, constipation, हर एक बीमारी के लिए I would say. Go for deep breathing.
So I think yes, you have covered most of the topics, and you have shown us the exercises which we can do it at office at all times. So that is very useful. So I think Roshni Advani again has raised hand. Just a second, I will allow her to talk if she wants to. Roshni, you can talk.
Hello. Yeah, hello. Yeah, Reena ma'am, can you just explain me how can we reduce our hair fall? Actually, I am really using the hair fall.
Hair
fall. Okay. Yeah. Achha, so you want a solution for a hair fall?
Yeah, actually, I am doing yoga, pranayam every day, but still my hair are continuously falling. I am doing the treatment also. I have stopped taking tea also. I don't have any acidity problem, any constipation problem. Then also my hair fall is nowadays it's increased.
Okay. So Roshni, right? Roshni, अगर मैं सिर्फ hair fall के बारे में कहूँ, then it's not only like asanas or yogas which help you rectify this problem. There are many other things which cater to this. See, one is like how what are the chemicals which you are using for your hair? I mean to say the quality of your shampoos, the quality of your hair oil which you're using, how often you are using, when are you using, and again I would say is like one more thing is your food. What is your diet? How the proper nutritive food you are eating? Are you taking enough amount of protein? Which is again, see, our hair is, they are like 95% our hair is made up of protein. So protein treatment करने से नहीं होता. How like the protein you are consuming? आपके diet में कितना protein है जो आपके जड़ों को मजबूत बनाता है? So again, the protein intake आपका कैसा है? Thirdly is like that vitamins and minerals. Generally, the deficiency of iron again cater to your hair fall. तो आपका deficiency कैसा है? So again, I would like to see you, can you check for your deficiencies? Then again, you have to fulfill those deficiencies if you have got a hair fall. Then how much your hair is exposed? Exposed to pollution, dirt hai, dust hai, ultraviolet rays hai. See, if you are going to any polluted area, are you covering your hair? You're just exposing your hair. And again, like, when are you washing your hair? Is it during the daytime or during the night you are washing your hair? After washing immediately, are you exposing your hair to all those factors which I've said, which again affect your hair fall? So there are lot many other factors which you have to cater. तो कहीं जाके आपका, again I have to see your age also. Okay, what is your age? So there are lot many other factors here which you have to work, and then you might have this get rid of the hair fall. It's not only one thing आपने किया और आपका hair fall बंद हो गया. It's not that.
Thank you.
Yeah.
So thank you, ma'am, for the session. And I would like to switch to Surbhi Jain. She will give vote of thanks.
1 second, Hiloni, if you don't mind, I just would like to give one message during this International Yoga Day. It's a very
Sure.
good thing what our Prime Minister ने किया है, and I have seen today, आज के दिन, तो there are a lot of awareness regarding this. So एक छोटा सा मैसेज मैं सब लोगों को कहना चाहूंगी कि डिसीजन से एक्शन बनेगी, एक्शन से हैबिट बनेगी, हैबिट से हेल्थ अच्छी बनेगी, हेल्थ से लाइफ अच्छी बनेगी. सो आई होप यू विल टेक अ राइट डिसीजन. खुश रहो, मस्त रहो और हेल्दी रहो.
Sure, sure.
For being a very, very, very good and obedient listener or maybe the follower. Thank you everyone so very much.
Thank you, ma'am. So Surbhi Jain, you can offer a vote of thanks. Over to you. I think she is not there in the panel. Miss Ruchika. Just a second.
Yeah, hello.
So I think Surbhi is not there in on the panel.
Yeah.
So would you like to offer vote of thanks to ma'am?
Yeah, sure. Definitely. My pleasure. So thank you, Hiloni. So I, Ruchika Bangad, on behalf of WYMEC, would like to thank.
Just a second. I think Roshni wants to give vote of thanks. So can we give opportunity to her?
No, it's
Yeah.
okay if Ruchika is giving. Okay. Until Ruchika replied, that's why I have this thing. Okay, no issues. Ruchika, you can go ahead.
Okay. Thank you, Roshni. So I, Ruchika Bangad, on behalf of WYMEC, would like to thank CA Reena Gala ma'am for giving us so many important tips about yoga and its importance in our daily life. As rightly pointed out by you, ma'am, that stress is one of the deformity in our lives nowadays. But we sometimes don't understand that we are going through stress and depression in our day-to-day life and how to get rid of it. As the saying goes, self-care is the first step towards taking care of the family and our loved ones. So these techniques, asanas, yoga mudras, and small and powerful nutrition tips given by you will definitely lead us to the right path of self-care. Thank you so much for all the valuable information given by you, ma'am. I would also like to use this opportunity to extend my thanks to CA Preeti Savla, ma'am, Chairperson YMEC SRSB and Vice Chairperson VSB. I would also like to thank CA Abhay Chadir sir, Vice Chairman CCLEA and NPO, and Vice Chairman WYMEC and ASB. Extending my thanks to all the participants who have been a wonderful audience and who have been practicing yoga with CA Reena Gala ma'am. Thanks to my colleague coordinators and the technical team for this uninterrupted session today. Thanks for giving me the opportunity to be a part of this symposium. Thank you, everyone.
It was my privilege to serve you, to serve my nation.
It was our privilege, ma'am. Definitely. Thank you. Over to Roshni.
Ma'am, one more question is there, I think, from Vaishali Kale.
Sure.
She wants to know what kind of snack we can carry at our office when it gets late. So
Soak nuts is a very good option. Make sure that whatever nuts you are soaking, it has to be at least soaked for 7 to 8 hours. That is almonds, pistachio, walnuts, cashew nuts. Even you can carry that dates, fig, right now black raisins, black kishmish. It's again a very cooling agent. So carry along with that, maybe some fresh fruits, mango season, soak mangoes at least 1 hour in a water. Then you can bring it to your office. So mangoes, even few nuts, say like peanuts, what you get from like khari sing or chana, even that you can carry. Then makhana, kurmura, you can carry, some salads. Salads which have lots of vegetables, colorful vegetables, which all the 3 peppers, with a lot of like spinach or maybe coriander. Make sure the spinach to be used only twice in a week. So with coriander leaves, mint leaves, celery leaves, then even you can indulge pulses in that. That is a boiled chana, boiled moong or a soak moong. Even you can, so you make a very nutritive salad and you can get it. Make sure the seasoning you do once you come in the office, like carry the salt, pepper, because again that will, क्या बोलते पानी छोड़ता है. So make sure the salt and pepper you carry अलग से, the vegetables and the boiled pulses अलग से, and when you're eating that time you can just mix it and you can have it. Even you can have a sukha bhel, makhana, that all you can. Right?
that's the wonderful options, I guess.
Yeah. So have lots of fresh vegetables and fruits, nuts, pulses in your diet, because since you're the sedentary lifestyle, so I don't want you gain a lot of it and then again next day it is like bothering you to burn those calories.
So let's end this meeting. Thank you.
A frequent headache has done, no questions. Yeah, fine. There's no questions. Yeah. I hope everything was very useful, the tips and the asanas.
Yeah, thanks, Reena. Thanks a lot.
Yeah.
Thank you, ma'am.
Okay.
Bye.